I've got so much to do. Look at it, we got drywall all up in this house. It's happening, guys, this is good. Hey guys, we are back here at the ranch. We have a lot of stuff going on today. We got a bunch of insulation here, got more insulation over here. So we're gonna finish up insulating the rest of these exterior walls. As you can tell right there, we got a bunch of drywall. We got 20 sheets. I got a few new tools. These are some things I've been meaning to get, and I was kind of old school in my ways, and I just like corded tools. But I'm getting with the times, guys. I got a cordless drywall gun, finally, and a cordless router. Roto-zip router, whatever. I have a regular router, but that's a drywall roto-zip router thing. I'm old school when it comes to that kind of stuff. I still have all my corded tools, but I'm sick of tripping over stuff, and I've got so many batteries. I think I have like 2 or 3 dozen batteries. I've got enough batteries to keep charged, so we're gonna try these out, see how they work. I hope I'm happy with them because they were not super cheap. I also got a staple gun, a corded staple gun. Yes, corded, but that'll help it'll make it a lot easier for her because the manual staple gun that we have, she has to pull really hard, and she has small hands, and her hands aren't strong construction worker hands. So in order to make her life easier and make it so that she can help me get all the rest of this installation done, I went and got a corded stapler for her. We're gonna get going. Isla's room is all ready to go. I can start doing her ceiling, and then I can do her exterior walls here, and then I'm gonna hop into Daniel's room, and I have to move all the cabinet drawers from his room into her room. Then I can do his ceiling and exterior walls, and that's probably all the drywall that I have for today. But if I have extras, I can start working on the hallway lid here, or the lid in the laundry room as well. Once I run out of drywall, I'm just gonna keep insulating. I'm gonna try and get as much as I can done so that I can just start putting more drywall up tomorrow. So we're gonna get to work, guys. I've got so much to do. Let's get it done now. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I figured I might as well show you guys what I like to use when I'm hanging drywall. There's tons of different tools and variations of tools and all sorts of stuff. First of all, you can use a drywall hatchet. I just use my stiletto. Doesn't really matter. I really don't use a hatchet. I like that because it's even lighter. Second thing, a nice utility knife with a quick release on there because you will go through a lot of blades. A lot of people will use the heavy duty drywall blades. I don't think it really matters. I think you go through just as many blades regardless, but make sure it's a quick release. That will make your life a lot easier. You don't have to be whipping out a screwdriver to change your blades all the time. Next tool is a rasp, a drywall rasp. Helps you to clean up all your edges really nice because when you snap your drywall, sometimes you have little chunks that are sticking off. You just give it a quick rasp. That will help clean up your edges, make all your sheets fit together just a little bit nicer, make your joints closer. Next tool, keyhole saw, whatever you want to call it. I always have one of these. I've got a couple of these laying around because I always end up dropping and losing them. So I always like to keep multiples on the site. Next thing is you always want to have your tool bags right here. I just use the same tool bags. I used to have a separate set of bags that were a little bit different. It was easier to get your hands in and grab screws, but I don't even know where those are anymore, so I'm just gonna keep using these same ones. Next thing you want is a drywall lift. This is so when you're doing your walls, you can lift your bottom sheets up, tight up. Essentially, you just go like this. You just stick this end under the drywall, and you just go like this. Lift it up to where the drywall is tight and your joint is tight. Don't necessarily need that, but it does make your life a bit easier when you're hanging walls, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Next thing, my regular drywall saw right here. I use this when I'm cutting out doorways and openings, or if I have to cut funky angles and stuff. Very sharp, works really well. Okay, now on to some of the more important tools. Screw gun. This is my new one. This is actually, it's really light. I'm pretty impressed. I have an original roto zip that I probably got when I was maybe in my probably in my early 20s. Oh geez, over 15 years. I am not using that because I bought a nice new cordless one, guys. We already showed you guys this drywall lift. You don't necessarily need one. If you have 2 or 3 guys, it's actually faster to not use a lift if you can, but by myself, I absolutely need one. There's no way I'd be doing this house without that thing right there. I guess the only tool that I didn't show would be your drywall square. You got all your measurements right there. From this right here to right there is 16 inches, so you can mark your 16 on centers. Definitely want to make sure that you take care of your drywall square. I've had some ones that have gotten bent up a bit and it screws you up. That's what it does, it screws you up. You also need a ladder or a bench. I will be using the scaffolding out in the main part of this. Also, tape measure. Always have a tape measure on you. Otherwise, how are you gonna measure it? Duh. Alrighty, everybody. Sorry, the GoPro died and pretty much all my batteries are dead because it's cold. Wanted to show you guys what we got done. I decided to get the walls done here. I have a little bit left to do tomorrow morning, and Isla's room is, at least the exterior part of it is done. I can vacuum it all out, move some of the cabinet stuff in here, and start working on Daniel's ceiling. I need to get some green board, which is mold resistant, for the bathroom here. I think by Wednesday evening, I should probably be able to have Daniel's room, laundry room, hallway, and into the kitchen here pretty much done. Look at it, we got drywall all up in this house. By the end of the week, this house is gonna be mostly drywalled, which is awesome. It's amazing. We'll see you guys next time. Alrighty, everybody, it's a new day, guys. We're here again. As you can tell, it's bright and light and bright. It's bright out. B finished up this entire room except for a couple little pieces that I was using the ladder for. So there's a couple little spots that I need to finish. As you can see, we got quite a bit done here in the kitchen. And then I got one sheet hung in the office here. We're just gonna keep pounding away as much as we can today. I'm gonna try and finish up the kitchen, get the hallway here done, wrap up the last bit of the hallway. B did finish all of the installation here, which saves me a lot of time. I haven't really showed you how I cut drywall and do that kind of stuff, so maybe I'll show you guys that, kind of some of the tricks that I've learned over the years, and we'll get right back at it. And again, don't forget, guys, we are going to be doing some lives, so any construction questions, make sure you ask them. There are a lot of things I could probably answer myself, but if it's a little more technical, make sure you put it down in the comments or send messages to our Instagram or Facebook, and we will make sure that we can get all those questions answered for you guys. And also, the lives are not just for construction. I want to make sure you guys understand it. It's literally for anything. If you want to ask us questions about our farm, how we take care of our animals, what kind of fencing we have, animal husbandry problems questions, animal health questions. If you want to know what kind of recipes B uses, her diaper recommendations for cloth diapers, Asian food recipes, get those Asian food recipe questions. Any questions you guys want to ask, any questions at all. Let's get back to work, guys. And don't forget about these lives coming up. You can see I wrapped the whole window in one sheet of drywall. A lot of times you'll see people and they'll have seams going right up from the corner of the drywall there. You don't want that, because when you tape around your windows, because the windows get cold and hot because of the weather, expansion and contraction will happen a lot. No matter how good you are, you'll get cracks in that. If it's a really big window, seam it in the middle of the window and still wrap around the corner of the window. And that goes for all sides around the window. I wouldn't want to go straight down because you're going to be more likely to get a crack that goes straight down if you put a seam right there. It always happens, especially in places where you have a lot of temperature changes. You can mesh tape it, you can use Durabond mud on it, which turns into essentially into concrete. It's a really hard setting hot mud, which means it's a powdered mud. You can use all of that. You could concrete it in, you're gonna get a crack. It doesn't matter. Make sure you put a whole sheet around your window and then cut your window out so you don't have to worry about cracks. What do you guys think? Oh, I got like a double shadow behind me. Ooh. We're gonna get back at it and keep going here. I know it might look a little funky. There's some small little pieces. There's some air gaps. It doesn't matter because all this is essentially backing for our wood that we're putting on the ceiling and also to hold the insulation up in there. If I can get this done and the 2 bathrooms done today, then I can call and have my insulation guy come on out. I can get the attic insulation blown in, which means that we can keep this place a lot warmer now. everybody. So, no surprise, because it's cold in here, the GoPro died. But we did get almost the entire ceiling in the garage here done. I need one more sheet right there, and then I've got enough scraps to finish off that edge. But if you can look right over here, oh, we have our furnace mounted up on the wall. I put a ledger under here with some angle, then I was able to mount it up to the studs up in here. So the whole thing is firmly mounted. So now I can start figuring out the rest of all the piping and ducting that I need to do in here. I know there's gonna be people that probably say, oh, why did you piece those in if you're worried about scraps and all that stuff? Well, the reason is because all the cabinets go here and it doesn't even matter at all. This whole wall from the doorway here is all cabinets, so it doesn't even matter. We have a tall pantry cabinet, a bunch of upper cabinets. If I was gonna tape all this stuff and make it all finished right down to the floor, I definitely would have tightened up my joints a little bit, but it doesn't matter because no one's ever gonna see it. It's happening, guys. This is good. Tonight into tomorrow, we're supposed to get dumped up at the mountain. So I'm heading up with the family and the in-laws. We're gonna go to Schweitzer. We're gonna go rip, hopefully have a little bit of powder up there. Yeah, today's my last day of the week. Gotta have some fun sometimes, guys. You gotta make sure that you get out and do some fun stuff so you don't lose your brain and become cuckoo like me.